Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. And the first news we got this week are 2 new unique items that are coming with the next patch, and these are based on main characters in Path of Exile, respectively Dialla, which is the Gemlin's Queen, and Malachais, which is the best thaumaturge that the Eternal Empire has ever had. So these are 2 very big characters, also because when Path of Exile launched in China, they really used these characters to make a hit there. So here comes the first unique, and it's about Dialla, of course. So it's the first Dialla unique that GG has made, and it's going to help define her mechanics beside her actual lore and herself. And of course, since Dialla is the Gemling Queen, as we said, and basically has gems embedded into her spine, the item actually had to do something good about gems and something really crazy that is not really common, and in this case it's actually a unique thing. So as you can see, gems can be socketed into any colors, so it's basically a tabula rasa, although it actually has colors, and the colors matter because you have red sockets where the gem gains 1 level, green sockets where the gem actually gains 10% to quality, and blue sockets where the gem gains 25% increased experience. So beside the experience thing, you can definitely build a really strong skill with this item, a 6 link. It's especially good for spells, because having +1 level to spells and to possibly empower is definitely going to be really strong. Also 10% quality to whatever gem is actually really good, so you can definitely do a really strong build with this, although the counterback is the fact that it only has 74 energy shield flat, and that's pretty much about it. But you can use it from level 37 onwards, so you can actually kind of level with it, which is always pretty nice. So definitely a very interesting item, and I can't wait to see how people will use it. The second item is Malachai's Mark, which are a pair of gloves. And Malachai has a lot of mechanics to his name, and that's just how his character is. So in this case, the gloves grants a special buff which turns kind of like the Elementalist Conflux, and it cycles between Malachai's Endurance, Malachai's Frenzy, and Malachai's Power. And when you have one of these buffs, you will gain charges of the specific type on kill. So for example, if you have Malachai Endurance, you will gain Endurance charges on kill, although it's probably not 100%, it has a percentage, but it's still really good if your build focuses on charges, so you have increased charge duration. You can definitely cycle through all of those and keep all of the charges up for the downtime. It's definitely going to require some investment, but it is possible, and it's definitely going to be very interesting, because with one single item you can have all of the charges. So it's definitely kind of interesting, and we'll see if this is going to be used. Definitely not as good as the Dialla's item, in my opinion, but we'll have to see. Definitely some good interesting items which we didn't really have for a while. And we also got some more highlights of the fan art competition, and again, just like the last time, pretty damn good stuff by the community. And yeah, just check this thread out, and if you haven't checked all of the past submissions and you are interested into those, definitely click the link in the description below and just go through the million pages of the thread and watch all of the fan arts. It's definitely a good way to pass the time if you haven't had anything else to do. And also, from the smallest news I've ever seen comes one of the biggest improvement in the quality of life in Path of Exile, and this is the fact that auras and specters will become a persistent thing. So if you log out, if you get disconnected, you will retain your specters and auras, and this is absolutely amazing. Especially for summoner builds, because every time you have to summon your specters, you have to go to the specific zone and find them of the right level, and then you have to summon them. It's kind of a very boring thing, which you don't want to do every day. So this is really good. It might actually make me play a summoner build for once, and I'm sure a lot of other people are actually think of that. So this is definitely really interesting. It's probably like 5 years or more, or probably since open beta, since when the Raise Spectre gem came out, that people have been asking and waiting for this. So really big news, and the patch is coming next week. I'm not sure when yet, but expect them to come soon. And yeah, it's really amazing. I'm really surprised this news didn't get that much space on the site. I will definitely have gotten a bigger news. But anyway, we also got the 6th episode for the 7th season of the Build of the Week, which is also the last episode of this series, sadly I will add, which is a Frost Breath Ice Crash Inquisitor. So it uses the Frost Breath unique mace, which deals double damage to chilled enemies, and with the recent changes to chill and shock, you can actually effectively chill big enemies like bosses and even endgame bosses. So you can actually utilize this mace for the full potential it has for dealing double damage to those chilled. And of course you go Ice Crash because it's a very strong melee skill. Well, melee it's an area skill of course, but it's half cold, so you can actually convert pretty much all of the remaining physical into cold. And then you go Inquisitor, so you penetrate a lot of defenses, and if you crit you actually ignore completely the elemental resistances, so you definitely do pack a punch. And you just move around with shield charge, and that's pretty much how it works. The rest is all about actually having the right uniques, which in this case are not that easy to acquire. So if you actually want to play this build, this is definitely not for a beginner, because you might not have the resources to actually gather the item you actually need, and also you will need some levels, because the build starts from the Templar but it spans out through the Duelist and goes to the Ranger as well, so it's a pretty long path before it actually becomes really effective. So a very interesting build nonetheless, and sadly this was the last episode, as I said, and hopefully we'll get a new one soon, although I don't think GG is going to do more until the next leaks, but we'll have to wait and see about that. And yeah, I guess that was all for this week, so if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all, I have been your host Zorzon, and I'll see you guys the next time.